into the playoffs we go as the teams start to stack up here. Cyphers on both team again, raise priority, but a little bit of a difference here. Omen and Sova on opposing sides.
Okay, so this is going to be the type of team where, looking at VAC Kimchi first, no breach. And no breach either for Team Rover. They've doubled up on what I like to say is kind of like the HE lineup. In terms of, you know, we're using CSGO lingo here, that you have the Sova, you have the Raze, you have extra damage coming on through, and there's no breach on either side. Means this is going to be a no-flash matchup for either team.
No vision can be denied, other than with those smokes coming down. The Omen as well has some power. Trying to bait out the shots with the orb. Not too sure if they managed to claim it, but either way, the engagement has fallen back. There was some vision granted and some info granted on B long before, but they fell away. Relatively disciplined there as traded shots go back and forth, but it's Silk Cannon who takes the worst end of it there. Sova tries to dart onto site, just scouting out the tube, manages to make sure, isolate those angles. They push on, but one of them has fallen already. They're giving over the site, but they still have to worry about treasure in the window. They go 2 for 2, but in comes the retake. Some really nice rotates coming out. And there's the trap wire to isolate the final player of Team Rover away. Their attack, short work for help.
And how quickly did VAC Kimchi get on that rotate as well? You can see that as soon as Rover went in for the side execute, VAC Kimchi was straight there, back of B, holding strong. Now taking that first round. Only 2 players actually ended up dying, so it's going to be the counter eco now to Bucky's Spectre being purchased in. And Help looking like he wants to just stay on the pistol, and he'll be the one maybe saving for that operator later.
I'm a big fan of the Bucky, as you well know. I've talked about it before. I think it's a very strong value for money weapon.
Got 3 of them
coming off. Yeah, exactly. And well, to be fair, coming off of a round win, I think it's actually not the worst idea. You know they're going to be playing short range. You know they're going to be playing with those pistols. I mean, maybe at most someone has a sheriff you're going to be coming up against, but the meta we've seen is everybody goes for a shorty in Korea.
I don't think you're going to have... You typically don't see any purchases coming through from the team that loses pistol unless they got a decent amount of kills. So to see a sheriff, a player would have had to have at least maybe, I'd say 2 kills in their name. Maybe a plant coming through as well. So Team Rover taking the cheap option out. This is going to be a tough round for them. As most players, I believe, they just got the classic there. So I think if they can just maybe bait impatience out of VAC Kimchi, that could be a way to get this climax. Is very close to finding contact. There it is. Oh, he could go down. He's only at 28 HP.
Gonna get away though. I think they trade damage and have to fall back. 2 people need healing on Rover, only 1 on Kimchi, so technically they are in a little bit of a better spot, but the Sage all the way over on B site means that the rotate has to come through. Omen moving all the way over. Brain leading the charge down mid, but they think better of it. The paint shell there to just try and clear out as much ground, but there's 30 seconds left AVRL, and they haven't really gained too much.
And no deaths either. We still got that one Brimstone player on Rover 9 who is on very low HP. We're still waiting for this plant to come in. That could be a really strong grenade, and it is. 9 goes down. That's the plant to defeat it. And now 11 seconds to go. The shotguns are doing work here, and Team Rover are struggling to make any headway.
The satchel charge over the top. The blast pack is there, and Treasure shuts it down. Have fun. He's going to have his round ended as Kimchi holds strong. A really nice set of raise plays there, using that util to just deny the planting area that was set up by the wall.
You could tell there was a lot of patience coming through from Team Rover as well. The fact that they were needing to maybe find some mistakes. There was one possible there. I think that if Climax dies, to ease for you, and that is a potential Bucky pickup. Look, it's not the best gun in the world, but it gives Rover something to work with. It also opens up showers, relieves a bit of pressure on A. We noted that they couldn't quite get the plant down. That's a bit of an issue. So that could have been a very different round. Even if they got the plant on eco, I think that's a pretty decent win. But now, round number 3 is where things get interesting, because we got real guns coming through.
See how they can stack up down range. Climax still on the Bucky. Still trying to hold it. A little bit closer. Has the Sheriff as well. He's worried about that Sova recon bolt, but he's just going to be able to fall back. Not really going to scout anything.
He revealed that he's still got the Bucky, by the way, and then this is now Rain receiving that information. Showers is kind of deadly for that, so he's the one player where if you look at his positioning, you can firmly say, well, this is an okay place to be playing the Bucky, and Team Rover have to kind of respect that. If they actually want to push into him, they have to respect that. They could go down in 1 hit, and that's going to be a Phantom given over to VAC Kimchi, who are looking for summon gun upgrades, and Rover right now still on the information search, 50 seconds left.
Using the Bucky wall glitch there, being able to shoot through about 10 meters of concrete and just pre-firing towards the mid. A little bit of damage found to Rover, but again, they're burning down the Midnight Candle down to 36 seconds, and Wonder Walker able to get a pick over onto Cypher as he pushes up B long. And now they're stuck without much time, and they have to execute B.
There's only 2 rifles on VAC Kimchi, by the way. One of them is in the hands of Wonder Walker, like you can see here. The other one's in the hands of Help, who's the raised player. So 1 Vandal per site. Here comes a hit now. Wonder Walker instantly down. That's one of the guns gone. We'll see if Treasure can do something about this. He's only got the Bucky now. He's waiting to see if someone walks into his sight lines as the rest of the players come on through for the rotation. I think VAC Kimchi are in a lot of trouble here because the rest of the players do not have good weaponry.
Climax now last left standing with the Bucky. There are weapons down on the ground near that CT rotate. They know they don't have any threat, and in this post plant, they're looking pretty strong right now. I think he might just want to try and orb towards the window and give a little bit of symbolism that he's there. Symbolism? Sure, we'll go with it. Rain, though, picking up the triple kill. Easy to hit that at range. Even though it is versus the Sheriff, he gave the game away. And that is going to be the round going over to Team Rover.
Semblance is what you were looking for, but I accept both answers. I give you a half point for. I give you 0.5 for symbolism. The symbolism of VAC Kimchi. Unfortunately, not going to be winning that bonus round and now cashing in on the bonus money. They do have some money to work with, but to be fair, there was a bit of a half buy. You know, we did notice that Wonder Walker and Help purchase the Vandals. Now it's just a bunch of shotguns still for VAC Kimchi. Team Rover get to walk through with their rifles in hand. You should maybe really expect a 2-2 here, looking at equipment alone.
Again, they're trying to push for Bathroom's control. Pulls out the pistol to deal with that. Ducks back off the paint shell. Rain. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful discipline. Even gets the ult orb. Ever close to that showstopper. One of the most devastating ultimates are opening up those sights.
Well, I mean, Help wishes that was a little bit better for him. I think he might have had one earlier, but looking at where we are in the game currently, and this is now 1 less for VAC Kimchi, who need to make a 2-2 split because they're not entirely sure. The wall might just give it away, though. VAC Kimchi have yet to really make big rotations. Finally, Treasure's going to make the call. And now, with the plant down, this will be where it happens. Where do VAC Kimchi get some of these kills? They would love to find some gun upgrades.
Help. Holding outside of lamps right now, waiting for the rotates to come in. Not gonna push through, trading 1 for 1, and it's the wall bang headshot. So 1 bullet, 2 kills as they go in around the corner again, but the shotgun's good for Wonder Walker, finds 1, but 9 shuts it down. Treasure is ready and waiting to take up the mantle, however, picks up the Phantom as well. Now he's 1 versus 3, but Have Fun puts a stop to it. Rover, take another round, even things up 2-2.
Treasure was really just looking to steal a Phantom away. Gets contacted by Have Fun, the opposing side for there. Unfortunately, is not going to be able to make it back towards the finished spawn and out of harm's way. VAC Kimchi now evened up. 2-2. First 2 going the way of them. Team Rover recover 2 more, but now we get into the interesting gun round. Typically, round 4 would have been the proper gun round, but we've saved the action for round 5 number here. It's going to be even operator being picked up by Treasure, so I expect B to be maybe quite a difficult site now for Team Rover to approach, but they'll find that out eventually.
Will be pretty tricky. The spike dropped over towards A short, so they do have all of their options open. This is a very default spread at the moment, but they're not pressuring in baths for the first time, and that's going to allow Climax to actually stay alive into the round. Up close and personal, Wonder Walker on B long might just be waiting to take face here. He drops the cyber cage to try and hold it down, but Wonder Walker is able to get the kill onto Rain, swings wide to try and get the second follow-up kill, and will take the duel. The wall is there as he drops down. Treasure able to pick it up, but gets taken down from window. Easy for you. Able to land the frag.
And that's the problem I'm talking about. By the way, Wonder Walker had the resurrection available. So playing aggressive angles, I'm finding myself talking about this again. Just not valuing their life as a Sage player. Team Rover should be on site. Defensive, or rather offensive orbital strike to just keep VAC Kimchi off from the back-end rotation. There's a smoke as well, is just going to make things more difficult. VAC Kimchi, 3 versus 3 here. They got guns, they got equipment. Time is ticking down.
Going to be able to take down the Sova drone on the retake. There's a lot of gunfire being sent down as Raze tries to enter the showstopper. Will be able to get 1 on the push and find a second as well. They clean it up and the attack takes the round. It's Team Rover to find yet another Nicely done from them as they hold on to the B bomb site yet again. As you were saying, early entries on the Sage, no res.
That is quite a devastating loss. They have now given over an operator to Rain as well. The Bucky's coming back through. Now, this is where I'm starting to think the Bucky's are potentially not paying enough. Yes, it's only 900 credits, but they're spending up probably a little bit too much every single round. It says a lot when we go into the 4th round, and they don't actually have guns. They're still operating on, you know, shotguns, Bucky's, judges, and the like. And now, they've got barely anything to work with. This is not a proper eco. We'll see how much money they have at the end of this to see if they can maybe bounce back for round number 7, because round number 6 is going to seem like Team Rovers.
Used the paint shell as cover last time. They're waiting for the dart. That will spot out Climax, and just gets away from it, but takes damage. 52 HP left on Climax. In the bath, makes a little bit of sound, but he knows there's the operator there. He knows he's versus that sniper, so missed shots give him ample opportunity to make things happen. 4 HP. Oh, goodness me. Goes very low, but help on the site goes even lower. Goes down, in fact. They rotate in. They push on the site. They drop the wall, and that's going to allow them A-site completely. Team Rover, once again, get the plot.
This time, because help is down, there's not going to be the defensive paint shells or blast packs coming through for the extra damage. There's no way for Team VAC Kimchi to be able to stop this plant, but now the difficult stage comes through. Yes, they couldn't stop it, but can they now get a defuse? Again, they need some weapons. They don't have anything to work with, and that's 2 more members down. Bucky's only going to be good for 1 onto Still Cannon. And Climax, the last one alive. Look, Omen's a playmaker, but I don't know if he's going to make anything happen here.
Oh, he tried to do the fake teleport there behind the truck, but they read into it. Easy for you, just spots it out. Climax goes down. 4 stay alive, and this is phenomenal for Team Rover's economy right now. They have max cash nearly coming in next round for most of their players. If they can hold on to 4 or 5 guns this round, they'll be absolutely quids in for the rest of the half almost. Fantastic performance from them, but now VAC Kimchi again on a gun round.
It's going to be the 3 stack over towards B as well. They're going to leave A slightly more vulnerable, and well, I wasn't impressed with their B defense on, I believe it was the 4th round. No, the 5th one was when they had the operator. Treasure's got that again. They need to be playing tandem here. He's over there by himself. Really want to see Donghoon kind of push with him. Look, if Treasure goes down, they have to recover the operator instantly. If that doesn't happen, Team Rover could be pushing. You don't know where they are. And if Team Rover was stacking towards B long, that would have been a potentially awful situation for Treasure to be in. Could he have gotten 1 kill? Yes, but probably he gets traded here. And now VAC Kimchi going to start 5v4, Still Cannon down.
A good start, certainly, and actually using the paint shell to stop anyone retaking the angle for now. Help suppressing right now. As again, the time-old duel in bathrooms goes on. Climax trying to hold it out, but again, the bathrooms claimed. Help goes for another duel and actually wins that one out as well. So far, 2 for 1 as they get a res and even things up. It's a little bit of a switcheroo, but now we're into 4 versus 4.
Because Help's left this entire site, he's left Team Rover to just enter as much as they like right now. 3 members alive over towards A. I do think that Wonder Walkers may be considering going back to B because they're not confirmed any real presence over A. They'll know it soon, and the rest of VAC Kimchi are going to come through pretty quickly. Team Rover have done brilliantly on A for most of these rounds. That is a decent kill.
It's a start, certainly. What more can they get? Seems like they're going to be able to win out the operator duel as well. Oh, in goes the orbital strike, but the blast packs are there first, and Treasure finds a triple as well. 2 triples on the round. You might think it's impossible, but there's magic going on as Sage brings in the res, and they both find 3.
It's finally going to be a bit of recovery here. VAC Kimchi dearly need to get some money in their pockets. They've been 4 rounds down in a row, and with 2 players, like you mentioned, triple kills each, will be building up towards ultimates. Helps 5 out of 6 now. Treasure's got his neural theft already. Brilliant play this time to stay alive with the operator. I always get quite uneasy seeing operator players take 2 risky plays, especially without backup and no support. It'll be similar now. Treasure going for the long peek, and this is what I'm talking about. A lot of members there. They could trade him, and he's down. And they're not going to recover the operator. I said this was going to happen, and now I'm upset.
A little bit upset indeed. Wonder Walker trying to hold face, but cannot do so. Brimstone is still operating on the back of site. I don't know if they've spotted him. He's playing secret agent right now. They have got the spike down as Climax starts the retake as well. He's waiting. He's biding his time to try and strike, and this is when he's going to push the gas pedal. Donghoon able to get 1 frag onto Neon. As Climax comes in for a second, Treasure already down, but his counterpart, the Cypher, over an elbow, gets taken down as well. Have Fun is in, but in comes the Hunter's Fury. They're trying to stop this plant. Oh no, they've just left it. He didn't go for the second activation of the Hunter's Fury. Came back into the rest of the round and sort of saved face just a little bit, though, and hit on sight. But if they'd have cleared it, he probably would have got down there. So a very risky play, to be sure. But it worked out in the end. Team Rover, now 4 versus 4 as they go even Steven once again.
Back to the 3-member setup. Oh, Rain takes a bunch of damage. Even takes an orb on his way out. He's just, you know, he's injured, he's hurting, but he'll just do a little bit of a drive-by, a little bit of a stop. Smell the flowers for a second. Gets healed back up finally. No hit coming on through. VAC Kimchi still holding strong 3 and 2. In terms of the split here, no members from B making moves over. At this stage, I would like to maybe see at least Treasure start making a move. VAC Kimchi's still got this resurrection to work with. Notice that Wonder Walker's died pretty early a few times now. Help! Oh, that was awful.
Goes down with the showstopper in hand. It's traded 1 for 1, but that could have been disastrous. Really nice reactions there from Rover to be able to pull that out. The Molotov and the wall break will allow Climax to take down the planter, but not before the spike is firmly implanted in the spike site A.
Let's see, VAC Kimchi are really struggling for members. Once again, Wonder Walker is down, no resurrection. They really need this res, John. I've looked at multiple rounds now for VAC Kimchi where I'm thinking, if Wonder Walker just survives and gets a res, this is so different now. Climax with 17 HP, 2 bullets and no reload. He's trying to bait out someone to push him, but he can't even return the shots, even though it is going to be Soul Cannon coming on through with the swing. No response from Climax. It wasn't really winnable anyway. But this could be so much better for VAC Kimchi if they were just able to play a little bit safer in terms of how they're defending. I'm still looking at B as a problem area, although, to be fair, A has also had plenty of plants. I think the biggest takeaway here, John, is the fact that Team Rover overall have just had plenty of plants.
They've been able to breach those sites, exactly, and clearing the angles where perhaps they shouldn't have done. Bathroom seems to be a particular weak point for VAC Kimchi right now. I mean, number of times we've seen Rain just walk up and displace Climax almost entirely to the point where they have to have multiple members watching that angle. It's been not ideal, but Help has been doing a lot of work over towards A short, and he'll continue to do so. Able to land the headshot there and reduce Rover down to 4.
It's going to be important as well to just kind of scare off Team Rover across A. VAC Kimchi, 3 stack onto B again. They've been kind of swapping Dongu between A and B for a couple rounds in a row. At this stage in the game, if they don't spot Dongun, but they also don't spot any sky smokes defensively, maybe over towards A, they probably know, oh, this is A open up now. Okay, this will be the pushback. Kimchi have to instantly move all 3 members back.
Unfortunate Do-si-do going on in Baths as they walk onto site yet again. The spike should go down. They know that the Molotov gets dropped just in front of Truck, but they haven't even thrown that in yet. Spike goes in. And now the retake is on. It's going to start off well. Rain does go down. They go for the trade, and Treasure finds another. Pops in the hat for the neural theft, but Have Fun shuts it down almost immediately. Double kill found. The headshot spray is good towards Lamps, and now it's 1 versus 2. We've seen this before, and actually, hang on a minute, he's giving them the smoke. I think they know that the orbital strike is there, however. It's exactly what they're playing for. Maybe not. Maybe Wonder Walker doesn't have the read on this. But in it comes, and they are just going to zone him off yet again off the post plant, and that's easy pickings.
And unfortunately, Wonder Walker's not in position to swing off the refrag to get something done into U-Horse. If he goes into Lamps and everybody else, maybe he gets the kill. And at that point in time, he can go for the resurrection as well. A 2v2 makes things so much more doable there. They couldn't control space by himself. It's going to be Wonder Walker again. We are going, 10 rounds now. And I think 7-ish rounds of the 10, He's held this one resurrection. This entire game. Now look, if he was winning, wouldn't have a problem. But 6 of those rounds out of 10 have been losses. So it's problem time. Buckies, this is going to be another save. It's going to be the Eco. Maybe VAC Kimchi, and this is not going to be the round. They would have to get a couple kills, steal some guns, and then I would start to look at really utilizing some more of the resources.
Looking for the headshot. Fades one. Just gets away. Not scot-free, but with a little bit of information. They have done this every round, however. I'll tell you what, though. Wonder Walker No Resurrection sounds like a local metal band who plays at the pub every week, doesn't it? It's sort of that vibe, right?
I've been waiting to make my Oasis joke.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the moment.
Okay. Okay.
He's the Wonder
Fair
Walker.
enough. Well,
it's very unmetal if you think about it that way. It's one of those unmetals you can think.
True.
Team Rover. They're onto their second res available, and in fact, we're looking at their perhaps now second showstopper as well. This should be a pretty straightforward round. Just looking to bait out some utility, and then they'll just be having to check corners and go up against some shotguns. They're posting up towards A. B's got a triple stack again, which means Team Rover should win this 5v2 easily.
Holding up close, Help does get spotted with that recon bolt, and they check the angle towards Bart. In comes the showstopper. Rain just sends it towards Help. Taking it back. And they find another one to Climax. They wipe the A site clean yet again. 3 players on the retake and make that 2 as Treasure falls.
I don't think Rain realized there was only the one member there. He was probably thinking there were a couple defenders, but just be happy to get the kill regardless. Probably wouldn't have been. Trade, it was just a ghost coming through from Help and VAC Kimchi. Really low HP Dongun. And this time, I don't think Wonder Walker should be going for the res, so, you know, the fact that he dies here with the res available, I'm not going to really go hard on him. But for VAC Kimchi, they are running out of time in this particular half, and I think Dongun might get hunted as well.
And this is the Team Rover that beat everyone out in the COV Masters and actually won out their group. Showing just why they are so feared at the moment in the Korean scene. Fantastically done so far on the attack. 7 rounds found. We know Donghoon likes to play with the judge, but I didn't know it was this much.
Well, he's not gotten much done with it. I think when they were winning, you could maybe say, oh, that's cute, that's kind of interesting, but now that they are heavily losing this half, I think he's kind of opening up himself for a little bit of criticism here, and I'm obviously one to not shy away from that action. As now we head into the, what is this, the final round of the half. Look, if Wonder Walker dies with the resurrection, I'm going to lose it.
Huh.
I will, because it's the final round of the half. And which this will have mean he's not used a single res for the entire half.
You mean agents have abilities? That's insane.
Let someone else play
That's
Sage
insane.
next time will be my response to that.
Climax going for the trade yet again, but Rain not phased at all, not one bit. Using his blast packs actually as almost smoke cover to peek out wide, prevent the headshots coming through, but anyway, here's Wonder Walker. Have Fun goes down over on the B side in front of the teleporter. So good start, good start. Still yet to use the res.
Help? This would be the time for Help to maybe make a rotation, but he is concerned as well. What if now Team Rover makes their big push? He's thinking about it. Okay, no one's coming. I'm gonna move. Wonder Walker, look at his positioning. This is already awful. Nope, he's been tagged as well. Lucky the wall's there. Staying alive. He needs Treasure to help him out. This is a tough position for him. He's got to get out again.
It's easy for you teaching him how to use res. As he drops the wall, gets that res. They both TP over towards
Help
A.
didn't
And
even
now
get healed.
pressure towards Barth. They're going to push out. Climax is still there. Push through unawares. Might just come a cropper. Will do so. The heal went over towards Rain, but it's completely shut down. They are on site. They're trying to get the plant down. They don't really have the same sort of pressure as Climax finds a second. 1 HP, turns wide, and gets shut down. Finds a second as well for 9, but Donghoon comes in. Triple kill found for Team Rover, and now it's 2 versus 2. 1 is there, and 1 is left. And Wonder Walker comes in for the triple. He holds onto the res, but he holds onto the round as well.
Alright, acceptable. I'll take that one, but I will say that would have been another one on the board. I don't think he is. This could have been, look, it's a 5-7, and there were definite rounds there and there, especially the 2v2, or rather, it would have been a 2v2 if the res came through. That was a winnable round. So I think the 6-6 is what eluded VAC Kimchi here, and that's something they'll Probably not to be too pleased about looking at that scoreline now. Did rescue it towards the end. It's that 4 in a row that's particularly hard to look at. Team Rover just kind of walked away with the early part of that half. Took a lot of effort for VAC Kimchi to come back. And now on the defense, Team Rover in the lead by 2. Let's see how well they do.
Ghosts being brought up by Rain and Silk Cannon, but it's light armor on the attack. This, to me, says they want to go fast and aggressive somewhere and try and just win out on the health duels. But we'll have to wait and see, because they're stacked up across the map.
It could also be that they just really like the utils. Note that I think the standard loadout now for Sage players is, if you do buy the wall, you're definitely going wall armor. Otherwise, you're going double slow orbs and 1 armor. So Sages are expected to generally buy some utils and not go for a ghost.
Rain pushing into Baths. Gonna challenge Climax again. Don't get it, but the blast back around the corner just gives him that little bit of an edge that he needs. Gets the heal as well, dropped his way early into the round, so that will be off cooldown in the next engagement. A very nice push coming out, and Climax just can't win these Baths.
He struggled. He's also played Omen across every single map so far. Not that I have a problem with the pick that he's decided to go with. Does lose out that 1v1 though. He's, like you mentioned, had trouble versus Rain because it's always been him versus Rain. Over towards Shower, but the opening now. Look at this. Couple kills going the way of VAC Kimchi. They're trying to even up these numbers. Donglu will be safe from the paint shells for now, and suddenly this has gone really heavily in the way of VAC Kimchi. 1 alive. Rain's got to do it all. He'll only find 1. It'll be Treasure coming through for 3, including the plant.
Did you see how Treasure used that cyber cage to hide from the recon bolt so he did not get spotted? Able to push through unseen. A beautiful start to that push, and they were able to just wipe sight from there among the chaos. Really, really nicely done. And I just want to touch on a point you made before, the Omen. Omen is a character who needs to do Omen things to work, but in order to do Omen things, you need the rest of your team to be operating together and to provide you that chaos within which to operate. That's exactly what happened there. Climax went down early, to be fair, so he didn't have the opportunity to have an impact in the same way that he would have liked to, but either way, if Kimchi can continue to do that, I think we might see Climax come alive in this half.
They're not doing too poorly in terms of kills. They got 3 members with more than 10 kills, and at this stage in the game, they're losing members too. Have Fun has done great with this Bucky to open things up. And suddenly VAC Kimchi with 3 alive. They have to reassess how they want to approach this one. Treasure, the hero of the last round, still only has that 1 ghost. And this is not going to be easy for them.
They have got full armor, but it doesn't matter when you're playing that close to a shorty, to a Bucky. It is just going to dismantle you. It just shreds through anything that stands in its way. Now they have to rotate again. VAC Kimchi need to figure out where they're going to go. Losing this round would be pretty disastrous for them. It would allow Team Rover to essentially hit that 9-round score in the end of things. And that's really dangerous for them.
Well, we are expecting VAC Kimchi to come through with the W here, however. It is a lot of shotguns versus shotguns now. The flood over onto B. There is going to be a bit of a crossfire. Say that as the wall is going to end up blocking out 9. He's kind of just making his way through that with a knife. The rest of the defenders now trying to rotate through straight into a slow orb, and the setup is there. VAC Kimchi have got this post plant down.
Rain will make the way through. The blast pack's trying to isolate Cubby. Will do so, but unfortunately there's no one else there. Treasure? Are you okay? He gets taken down to a jumping out raise with a shorty, and now VAC Kimchi down to 2. Swings out wide. Wonderwalker finds the triple. 3 kills found now. Looks for a 4th as well, but can't quite find the ace. The long-range Bucky won't serve him well, but that Molotov beautifully positioned. I don't think it's going to give them enough time to play with. Drops in. Does have enough health. Did not get half. Oh, he did manage to take it. And that's going to be the defuse. Nicely done, Team Rover. Get the retake.
I thought the Molotov had it at that stage. It looked like the damage was there. It looked like the time had run out. And it's going to be the clutch into a defuse. And coming into this now, I'm really just questioning the purchase decisions coming through from VAC Kimchi, because they opted into shotguns. Now look, if you're playing shotguns on the defense, I respect it, because you get to hold the tight angles. You get to do all of that kind of stuff. But if you're playing shotguns on the offense, more than likely you're going to find some long angle engagements, especially now in a post plant where you actually have to come back and kill the defuser. How are you going to do that with only a shotgun? They really would have benefited from opening up with Spectres instead, but Paying the price for it now will be VAC Kimchi, trailing by 2 rounds to Team Rover. They rescued one through.
Well, you saw how they wanted to try and take control of long. 2 players actually pushed out that way, went down, unfortunately, to the push. They were trying to play around that Molotov, which would have been very, very strong. They would have had a lot of power, but unfortunately, there was an angry Sage in their way, and that's not going to go well for anyone.
Well, that Kimchi had a decent opening on towards B. They flooded in, got the wall up, blocked out 9, got the plant through. Here in this particular round, though, they are down 1 member as their Raze play, or they do trade the Raze, so making this a little bit more interesting. They have shower control now. This is when they can actually start making a move on towards A. They got limited timing because we're seeing rotators coming through from Team Rover, and the numbers will be even fairly soon. They are failing to push over towards A.
I'm just not finding those openings. Wonder Walker able to chime in from Baths, but now they're versus 3. Only able to pick up a Spectre, not really too much more, and the Phantom just wins out that duel with a headshot. Easy for you, claims the final kill, and Team Rover put that 9th on the board. And this is what I was talking about. This is the situation that they're in. 9-6 right now, and this is really very dangerous. If they lose this round, it could just be curtains here for VAC Kimchi.
Well, what with Team Rover hitting the 10 double digits, and VAC Kimchi are losing a lot of momentum. We remind ourselves of how that first half went. Very similar, but at least VAC Kimchi got the second round. At least they confirmed the conversion over the pistol. Very rare for teams not to win the conversion round after getting a pistol. Round 4 is where the action is. This is where the guns come through. It's just looking at Dongun, who has the Bulldog instead of a proper rifle. Everyone's looking pretty healthy otherwise. Wonder Walker, again, if he goes down here, it would have been very upset. He's still got a resurrection. It's not the one he held on from the first half, but he has so many kills. He got another res very quickly. I do expect that this will be the round where it should come out.
Kimchi already getting a kill over towards Baths, actually. Rain going down early, and the Rays not able to play that suppressive force that she has done so far, but the rotate comes through to B.
Which only has 1 person there currently. So we did see VAC Kimchi draw a lot of attention over towards A, and the fact that there's only 4 members alive. Team Rover typically in a default would have to go 2 and 2, but they've actually 3-stacked A, which unfortunately leaves Have Fun by himself, and he's got an aggressive angle. He's about to die here. There's no way he survived this. Doesn't even get a kill. That's unacceptable, John. He needs to at least get a 1-for-1 trade. This will be the plant now, and Team Rover have to re-push this one, and it will be very tough.
Let's see if they can get this post plant in. Hunter's Fury there. Will tag 1, tag 2. Looking for a third. Still Cannon gets 2 with the Hunter's Fury. The spike went down in the meantime, but that is huge on the opening. Donghoon now playing from that long, has Orbital Strike, has that Molotov. This is the situation that they wanted in that previous round that they lost, but they seem to have the forces to do it now. Team Rover really low at the moment. Only 2 players remain standing. That's unfortunate for Silk Cannon. Should have been able to get that one. Does triple up. But Wonder Walker shuts it down again. Last player standing for Team Rover. Do not have much more to go, but he will find 1 more at least. Not really much chance, and they have to fall back here. The Orbital Strike and the Molotov available from that B long position.
Good rescue there. VAC Kimchi, they had the great opening that we saw, pushing directly onto a Have Fun, who's a Cypher, the sole Cypher defender. Team Rover punished there for unfortunately doing a 3-1 split. Didn't read that it was going to be a B push. And then VAC Kimchi surviving against the Hunter's Fury. They lost 2, but Wonder Walker survived. Popped the res and finally picks up another 2 kills, and he's a top fragger for a reason. And if you are the top fragger, this is the other thing. You need to be cycling through the ultimates, because if you are taking kills and you're not using ultimates, that's ult points denied to the rest of your team members. These are the kind of meta things that you have to start thinking about at a high level of play. VAC Kimchi are going to make things a little bit more interesting, 7-9. They're starting to make a little bit of a catch-up happen.
Can they keep the pedal to the metal? Or are they going to let off just a little bit? Team Rover need to rev up just a little bit into this round. Guns on both sides, so they'll be able to hold face, but the question is, will they be able to do so? Climax won that duel in Bath, and you can see now Rain thinks better of pushing in this time.
Well, he's just holding the angle. He's waiting for Rain to maybe make a mistake. I don't think Rain's going to do that. Maybe Rain will get impatient, but he has no information to showers. He's maybe thinking about peeking in. Oh, this could be the 1v1 rewarded now. Climax has been very patient. That's contact for sure, and he's got the kill. Patience rewarded indeed. Climax for 1.
Unfortunate there. Rain falls rather prophetically in showers. And they open it up.
Like
45
that.
seconds left, however.
It's very
I know.
thematic what you did there.
It was all on a theme. There was a line. It was clear cut. It was straight all the way through.
Just
And
like
it paid off in the
Climax's
end.
line. Exactly like Climax's line that he held. And it also paid off at the end as well. As VAC Kimchi, they're trying to make their moves into odds 8. Not without casualties though, it should still be the plan. They have still got an orbital strike from the last round. And I expect the big play here to be Dongun. He needs to stay alive. He is of utmost importance to the success of the post plant. The rest of the members will still be there. Climax, really aggressive. Should find this 1v1 pretty soon, and he loses. East for You is going to get that kill and the resurrection.
There we go. Team Rover again dropping that res onto Rain, and now they can start to
Oh, this
go
is
for
huge!
this retake. But the neural theft is there. They're able to reveal the entire location. Easy for You on the flank, able to take down Donghoon. And without the orbital strike, they can just go for the defuse. They clear it out. And even though there's a posthumous kill, Team Rover got a huge retake. Easy for You with a massive flank.
Donghoon just got caught with his pants down there. I think he even had maybe the orbital strike overlay out, the little mini-map on his wrist. And Team Rover, what a massive play. Ease for You just takes the risk. He's even running. I don't even think he was really walking that. But he was so confident, just walking on through, into market, back of short A. I mean, at this point, they also knew the orbital strike was there, so maybe he was specifically hunting for the Brimstone player, and he gets it. He gets Donghoon down, and that's what's going to get the round. Team Rover continuing this 3-round lead. Every time VAC Kimchi maybe just gets one on the board, Team Rover extends it further.
That's the problem with playing around that orbital strike Molotov combo. It's really strong if you can get it off, but you are removing a gun from the fight if you're playing that Brimstone all the way from sight. It has more value to hold face and get those trades a lot of the time. You can play further back, but I think taking yourself completely out of the fight is unwise for VAC Kimchi, and that's exactly where they paid the price there. Donghoon was just sat essentially AFK, waiting for the fight to happen, and then trying to pick up the pieces after the end of it and not allowing his team to win.
Well, I don't have huge problems with players playing offside in terms of, you know, if we start to look at CSGO strategy, but playing right offside and playing for, you know, even an offensive retake on the post line is not the worst thing in the world. Unfortunately, just needs to open his ears a little bit. Use those headphones. Hear the fact that he was being approached onto the side. I mean, Ease for You just came out of nowhere. Climax died there. They have to expect these things. I think that was the biggest mistake, is they just didn't read the possibilities, didn't consider that maybe this was going to happen. 30 seconds now. It's been a lot of preamble, but VAC Kimchi will finally make the move over to B.
Donghoon goes in this time around. Gun is out. Climax over onto the site. Another trap wire activated. Have fun. Able to find one. They trade it, but the orbital strike able to find yet another, and Neon was not done just yet. 3 kills found on the round in 11 seconds with just 1 left standing. And VAC Kimchi fall yet again. Team Rover able to hold strong on the B site.
And no plant either. That's the worst thing about all of this for VAC Kimchi, is money-wise, they were already onto an eco, where, to be fair, it was more like a half buy, because some of them had marshals, some of them looked like they had actually soft invested into that round, and this is the time in the game now where potentially there's only 2 rounds left. You look at the money available for VAC Kimchi. You're buying here, you lose, you eco. But the problem is, if you lose, you can't eco, because that'll be 12 on the board. So really, VAC Kimchi have got to win this round, or it's going to be a force buy into what could be the 13th round win for Team Rover, and that is not the round that you want to have to force buy.
Climax gets an early pick onto Rain, and this is the rounds that they tend to win at the start of it. Having that threat removed, the Rays can clear those angles and present those pushes in ways that a lot of other agents can't, and so having that removed is really, really strong for for VAC Kimchi. Team Rover have to worry.
And here's the problem for Rain as well. Why is he solo pushing? Again, this is where I think he should be tandem pushing with somebody else. If he wants to swing, have a second peeker there to recover. Get the refrag. Someone needs to punish Climax. He's also doing so with a Phantom. This is where I have to also criticize Gun Choice for that decision. If he had a Vandal, he can get the 1-tap. With a Phantom at that range, it's 140 damage and Climax wins the trade. Now, Silk Cannon really up close. Opportunity here to get multiple kills. He's got 2 already. There's no trade just yet. Oh my goodness, Donghoon is thinking really hard about the timing on that one. Finally gets through. And now doesn't choose to pick up the weapon. He just wants to get the plant ASAP.
The trap's playing passive onto site. The neural theft is there, so we'll know where the retake's going to come through, but that's not going to phase 9 just anything. He gets one frag over towards Donghoon. They're playing back towards Long, and without their Brimstone, again, they get denied that position. They're playing so heavily for the retake. Treasure gets the spray down. That was the diffuser. And he is going to push out. I think he heard the steps, plays around the smoke, and is able to find another. Drops the cam, but it's easy for you to close it down. And Team Rover right down to the wire, but they manage to get match point. 12 rounds now, and they're on the precipice of taking down Kimchi.
So close there. You just need to see Donghoon stay alive. If there was a way for Donghoon to get out without dying, they would have had the orbital strike again. It's been so many rounds where I'm looking at him, I'm looking at this orbital strike, I'm looking at the fact that, okay, if you get the plant, the post plant is so winnable. Imagine if that was Donghoon alive instead of Treasure. He would have had the perfect position to deny the defuse at all. He could have won that 1v1. But now Team Rover, like you mentioned, it's the 12-7 scoreline that is really concerning, and the force buy now all but confirms that this should be a loss for VAC Kimchi. It would really require a big miracle for VAC Kimchi to win it now. Showstopper coming through. Could be punishing. Rain's still alive.
Rain checks his flank with the Showstopper. Doesn't find anything there, but trades it there. And Nian able to find 2 headshots. This guy has been an absolute machine for Team Rover. Coming in with clutch frags time and time again. Easy for you. Again, making the play. And now VAC Kimchi down to 1. All that stands between them and elimination from these playoffs. Help does not have the spike. Does not have the player advantage.
I see it,
does
John.
not have much hope.
This is a call for help. This is what it is. Help me right now. Win this round. He needs a better gun. He needs a little bit more time. He would really ideally get the kill into ease for you here. That would be the first player in his line of sight, but I think the counter trade comes up very quickly. You can see how many players are just really looking towards this. Oh my goodness, he's been spotted. Okay, at this point in time, Team Rover can't just run him down. He's got the first kill. Has to try and find his second kill. Showstopper available. The double hop. Can he get something? Oh, he really needed to get the kill, at least onto, who was it, Silkan with the Hunter's Fury, but it's not going to happen. Would have required a miracle.